ready for action in Fort Worth, Texas, between Louisville and Michigan here at Dickies Arena. Brooke Quarles-Daniels does the defensive work, and Ashley Sofakanik, the transfer from Bucknell, the big, who will jump it up with Elif Istanbuloglu, one of the most improved players in the ACC this season, and Louisville wins the tip. A trip to the Elite Eight on the line this afternoon in Texas.
See Michigan starting out in man-to-man defense. Louisville, 5 players all on the floor who can score.
Istanbuloglu is one of them. Her growth, something Jeff Walls harped on yesterday with us, saying she doesn't hesitate at all anymore from the perimeter. Saw it right there.
You see Louisville starting out in man-to-man. McKinley Randolph starting out on Quarles-Daniels so that she can help off onto the scores. Is a defense very similar to what Iowa played in their wins over Michigan this year.
Get it in. So Fakanik with the shot clock at 3. Trapped, has to make something happen, doesn't realize it, and that's going to be a shot clock violation as Louisville forces the turnover. Jeff Walls, Kim Barnes-Arico, 2 terrific coaches who have been historically great for their programs. Jeff Walls leading Louisville to a 13th Sweet 16. Kim Barnes-Arico has Michigan in their 3rd.
Michigan can be very pesty defensively when they can pick up in their full court pressure. I think that's one of the reasons Raina Scott got the start for Louisville. She gives them another ball handler against that defense.
And Anaya Hardy, who normally starts, does not play big minutes for them, as Siegler can't hit. Rebound hits the floor, kept alive. 2 to shoot, Roberts hoist, and an air ball. Shot clock violation. Meanwhile, it looked like Raina Scott a little banged up after keeping that rebound alive. She's still kind of flexing at her left hand, just saw her holding it above her head. So we'll keep an eye on that. The senior who transferred from Oklahoma.
See Taj Roberts face guarding Silas Swords on the top of your screen. Just trying to keep the ball out of her hands. Such a dynamic scorer.
Swords tried to plop it up with the left hand. Couldn't finish, got it back, stripped by Scott. Here's Randolph quickly up with it. Siegler bounces in. Istanbuloglu draws 2. Randolph sees a seam, exploits, can't finish. Rebound controlled by Michigan. Swords and Olsen combining for the glass.
This is the pace right here that Michigan wants to play. They want to make it fast, get up and down, beat Louisville's post players down the floor.
Dramatic difference in pace. Michigan 38th in the nation, Louisville 161st. And when Michigan plays a slowed down game, that is often when they have lost this season. Get it into Olsen, her jumper rims off, and Randolph, who has been a rebounding menace in this tournament, comes up with that one, but a travel as Louisville gives it right back.
Louisville is very good at getting the get-ahead passes. That time, though, Taj Roberts just got caught for a second as she saw Siegler running the floor.
Do you want me to give you another little fun pace nugget?
I love pace nuggets, Ryan Ruocco.
Michigan is 0-4 this season when they played at a pace of fewer than 71 possessions per 40 minutes. As Olsen can't hit the jumper, Louisville's games have been at a pace of 71 possessions per 40 or less in all but one of their last 8 games. So they slow it down.
Every quarter I want another pace nugget.
I think that's all I got for you today.
Another fun pace nugget.
There's a university in Westchester County called Pace. That's maybe where the knowledge ends. Siegler can't hang on. It'll stay here with Louisville. Both teams feeling their way early. We saw that yesterday too, Rebecca, where here in Fort Worth, both teams struggled to score early in the Sweet 16. And yeah, see the little bang there on Brooke Quarles-Daniels. Shot clock at 2 again. Roberts has to hoist again, and another air ball and a violation. We've already had essentially 3 shot clock violations to begin this game.
Terrific defense by Mila Holloway. That time, again, on Roberts, just making things very challenging.
Here's Olsen. Olsen, who had 27 in the second half against NC State in the second round. Holloway, a sophomore point guard, giving it up. And that is going to be a 3-second violation against Michigan as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, Jeff Walz just turned and yelled to all the players who are sitting on his bench. Everybody's got to pay attention. On that last possession for Louisville, they are doubling and they are pressuring certain players. And he's like, E had a wide open shot. You've got to pay attention. Where's the pressure coming from? That player will be open. He's coaching up the next group that'll get in this game.
Maybe one of the ways in which these players are sped up early in a Sweet 16 as Roberts can't hit the three. Rebound poked out of bounds by Randolph. And it's going to be Michigan basketball. Randolph's trying to tell the bench, hey, appeal that, and bench just saying, no. The last hit you.
Didn't even consider it.
Holloway, great look, and Swords can't finish. Rebound deflects off of Michigan. It'll be Louisville ball as Michigan still yet to score in this one.
Michigan has had success on that set all season long because of the way teams deny Swords, and she gets that backdoor cut. That time, a great look, just couldn't capitalize.
Michigan 0 for 4 from the floor. Louisville 1 of 6. Again, what we saw with Notre Dame and Vandy, what we saw with UConn and UNC here yesterday.
The nerves of your first few minutes in the Sweet 16, certainly.
And a foul underneath is going to be against Swords. So a key early personal there on one of Michigan's most critical players, the sophomore Silas Swords.
And that's one of the things the Michigan team was telling us yesterday is we're going to have to deal with the size disadvantage. Yeah. And that was a perfect example of it. Swords trying to get around Randolph.
Scott flinging it back. Istanbulolu. Amari Berry into the game for Louisville. She is a bucket off the bench for the Cardinals. Gets blocked there. Istanbulolu collects, turns, and finishes. Elif Istanbulolu has all 5 Louisville points.
Corals Daniels was on Istanbulolu, and that's why she was not able to get the box out and board.
Good defensive stand there from Siegler, and the 3rd Michigan turnover.
See, just right there, just able to go corral the basketball, and then that's a really tough finish with Olsen right on it.
Part of the ways that Istanbulolu has grown her game after working with the Turkish national team all summer. Jeff Walz, a coach on that staff, and those two got to spend a lot of time together, and it paid off. Into the backcourt that goes as Louisville turns it over. Let's check in with Howell.
Well, Ryan, to your point, Jeff said her making that national team, senior team, has been huge because she would be practicing against pros, people who are playing for Fenerbahce, some of the biggest clubs in Turkey. And he said her ability to practice every day, go against grown women, it has exponentially made her career go faster and improve faster. She's one of the most improved players in the ACC this year. Her points are up by 7 points per game. Her rebounds are up by 3 rebounds per game, and he really credits that Turkish national team.
Yeah, it made her observe the way the other pros were practicing as well and said, see how early they're getting here? See how late they stay? You need to do that too, as Berry lays it in off a gorgeous delivery from Istanbulolu.
Again, that's a great example of the get-ahead pass. Louisville does a terrific job when they do run the floor of passing it ahead.
Swords still can't finish. Michigan still scoreless in this first, and Berry comes up with a steal. Here's Amari Berry. Berry so strong athletically, feeding Randolph. Can't lay it in. That pass too tall, out of bounds, and Michigan turning it over early. Their bench saying, calm down, calm down. It's 7-0 Louisville midway through the first.
One of the ways you avoid getting behind is with the get-ahead. Great pass by Istanbulolu. Berry able to finish.
How about the drama yesterday here? Hannah Hidalgo, great play to grab that ball, then feeding Prosper for the game-winning layup. Notre Dame in the Elite Eight for the first time in the Niele Ivey era. And then last night, Rebecca, this shot by Ashlyn Jackson. around and in. Beth Mowins with a terrific call, sealing that moment as Duke topped LSU at the buzzer. Such incredible drama in the Sweet 16. Louisville out to a touchdown lead here on Michigan as we check in with Holly.
Kim Barnes-Arico in the timeout. Settle, settle, settle. She said, we have just got to take a deep breath right now. We miss a shot, and then everybody throws their hands up and says, oh my gosh, what's going on? She said, oh, hell no. We got to do what we've been doing all year long. Calm down, take a deep breath. And she said, anytime somebody's getting doubled or trapped, look for the open person and be a screener. You're doing it right now. You see that.
All right, Holly, good stuff. Thank you very much. As Berry can't hit. You saw those numbers for Michigan, 0 for 5 with 5 turnovers out of the gates. Berry gets fouled there. It's going to be on Olsen, and free throws here for Amari Berry.
But you see when Michigan has a chance to set their defense, it's given Louisville some difficulty. We've seen multiple times where Louisville's gone late into their shot clock. The Cardinal have just done a good job when they've actually pushed pace and gotten out in transition.
It was interesting talking to the Louisville players yesterday, because one of the things they mentioned was all season long, Jeff Walz has told them, you can be a Final Four team, you can be a Sweet 16 team, you can be an Elite 8 team. And that's instilled a real belief in them. They said, look, we have a coach who's been there before. You know, Jeff Walz has been to 3 Final Fours. He's been to 8 Elite 8s, or 4 Final Fours, 8 Elite 8s, now 13 Sweet 16s. And we said, was he saying that to you guys last year? And they said, absolutely not.
That was my favorite part.
Made them really believe it this year. Becomes valid when he's honest in the years it's not true. His Swords can't finish, and it's knocked out of bounds, stays here. Hey, coming up next, the Women's Sweet 16 continues on ABC with Kentucky taking on 1 seed Texas. Then over on ESPN, Oklahoma faces 1 seed South Carolina at 5, and a recap of a terrific game earlier this regular season. And then we cap the day, Cinderella, Virginia, and TCU at 7:30.
How about Madison Booker coming off a 40-piece in the second round against Oregon?
She has gotten aggressive offensively. It's been good for her, and Texas's Swords finally gets Michigan on the board. Their first points of the game, and now a steal from Holloway, who's fouled by Roberts. And Taj Roberts picks up her first personal.
But Kim Barnes-Arico has to be pleased with the way Silas Swords is hunting her shots. That's a conversation she's had with her all season long. We've seen it the last couple of possessions, her attacking the basket, and you have to always close out on her. She's such an elite three-point shooter.
All right, Kim Barnes-Arico telling us she's genuinely happy if she takes no shots and we win. Sometimes I got to tell her, no, I need you to be aggressive. Here's Olsen. Olsen soaring in, drops it home, and Michigan has settled a little bit here.
Certainly a different level of comfort and aggressiveness since that last timeout from Kim Barnes-Arico.
Here's Siegler. Into the arms of Berry. 9th time these teams are meeting. Louisville holds the all-time advantage, 6-2. They've won 5 straight. Istanbuloglu trapped, dishes, extra feed, corner 3 is good. Taj Roberts connecting from deep.
And this is what we have seen from Louisville when they've played well this season. The double team came to Istanbuloglu. She made the nice pass out of it, and then what do you see after that? One more. Here's Olivia Olsen, the last possession for Michigan, getting down, just kind of bullying her way to the basket here. Double team comes. Gather, make the pass, and then the one more for the even better look.
11-4 Louisville lead. Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. Olsen with the left hand, no. Dudley got a hand on it, nothing more. Here comes Siegler. Roberts taking her time as she listened to instruction from Jeff Walz. Siegler spinning, dishing. Scott will drive it across her body and in.
Louisville with such nice spacing, and that gives Raina Scott the ability and space to get to the rim on the drive.
Little pull-up is good from Mila Holloway, averaging 16.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists in this tournament thus far. Berry with the answer on a long 2.
But it feels like Michigan offensively has taken a collective deep breath the last couple of minutes.
Olsen spins it in, plus the foul. Olivia Olsen a chance for 3 as the Wolverines find their footing on the offensive end.
Michigan has had success when they have attacked the basket. That's a tough finish and fall on as the foul comes.
Siegler picks up her first. Olivia Olsen, second most points in Michigan history through 2 seasons. Only Caitlin Flaherty with more. A 3rd-team All-American this season. Olsen will check out here.
Louisville going with a little bit of a small lineup right now. Hardy, their only big in, surrounded by 4 guards. Well, Randolph, a big as well, but this is another a lineup that has good spacing except for Hardy in terms of their ability to make threes.
Scott drives it, the pull-up rims off, rebound Hardy, and a tie-up. Possession arrow belongs to Michigan. Michigan, the highest seed they've had in program history. Their 2nd most wins. A win today would match that mark of 28, which they had back in the 16-17 season. After starting 0-6 from the floor, they're 4 for their last 5. Here's Dudley. Dudley on the attack, kicks it out. Quarles Daniels, the rare field goal attempt, can't finish. And Hardy gets fouled by Quarles Daniels, and that will be her first.
Quarles Daniels did the drive, but she turned away the opportunity for a quick little 15-footer, and that's why defenses will help off of her, and that's why we've seen Louisville sag off of her as well.
And that's what you were talking about, that Iowa did successfully against Michigan this year.
With their big player, that was what was unique about it.
Under a minute to go in the first quarter of this Sweet 16 matchup. The first of 4 meetings in the Sweet 16 today on the ESPN family of networks. Here's Hardy, 8 to shoot, barrels in, and an offensive foul is called as Swords took the body.
Nice job by Swords, because she was giving up a couple of inches here, so just held her ground, kept her hands straight in the air. Dee Kantner next to me nodding her head, bobbleheading, so that was the right call.
Dee, our terrific rules analyst. Olsen into the pull-up, going for the 2-for-1. It is rare you see college teams try and execute it. Michigan executed that well, just couldn't quite hit the shot. But a 7-second difference, game and shot clock. Roberts, doubled. Berry, what a look. Scott leaning, can hit. Another rebound from Hardy. Misses the layup. Swords hugs the rebound, and Randolph reaching in, picks up the foul, and that is going to be the first on McKinley Randolph.
In the way Michigan hard hedges on perimeter ball screens, if you can make a pass out of that, you can get a good look. They've done a nice job recovering, though, and really forcing that pass to be difficult.
Randolph will check out. Not going to risk picking up a second here with 12.5 seconds to go in the first. Here is Holloway. 7 seconds into Swords. 5 seconons. Back to Swords, knocked away. Swords collects, fires off the mark. That'll do it for the first. Louisville, a 15-9 lead after 1. Michigan able to gather themselves late in the quarter, but it's Louisville with a 6-point lead. We'll talk with Jeff Walls on the other side of this break. Stay tuned after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Well, Coach Walls, you talked about none of this group has been to the Sweet 16 before, but they've come out on fire with good defensive pressure. What do you think about the way they've settled in?
Well, we're going about 175 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone right now. We're playing hard as can be. We just got to settle down a little bit. When they press, we've got to look to attack at the score. We've been a little careless with the ball at times, and then we've got to make some layups. We've had a lot of opportunities to put a few easy ones in, and we haven't. Defensively, though, I'm really proud of how we're competing.
Yeah, that was my next question. Defensively, your pressure has flustered Michigan. How does that show that they're really locked in defensively?
Well, you know, at this time of the year, it's all changed. The physicality of the game gets a lot more, which is what we like as coaches. So it's an adjustment for all the players from the regular season to once this tournament starts up. And now they're getting adjusted and they're used to what we're allowed to do now. And you're allowed to play physical basketball. And that's what you have to do if you want to try to knock people off their line, get a little bit of the distraction on a pass. So both teams are playing extremely hard. It's fun to watch.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Holly. Thank you, Jeff. Let's take a look at the player spotlight brought to you by Hilton.
Jeff Walls told us that Elif Istanbuloglu was his most important player, and you see the first action that they run, a little pistol action. This is her 6'3" big, and you're running the first play of the game to get her a three, and then we saw her with the terrific get-ahead pass to Amari Berry, finishing inside. When double teams come, she can make the extra pass out to her teammates. She has been stellar to start this game.
Istanbuloglu coming off a double-double against Alabama. Here is Berry beginning the second quarter with a little bunny jumper. You could just tell the way Berry moves, her athleticism pops, and Jeff Walls told us yesterday she has a chance to be one of our best players we've ever had because of that.
And in much better shape this year. She can go play for longer stretches.
Swords missed it left and short. Silas Swords, a big-time threat from three-point range. You see that quick release.
And that was her first good, clean look from three.
Louisville 1 of 10 off the dribble, 6 of 8 from the floor off passes. Here's Siegler, turning, taking, no. Rebound underneath, plus the foul. Hardy has been a major factor on the offensive glass in this first half.
Just see her just make contact. That's what you do. She created the contact and the box out as the offensive player so she could go up and get that board.
Anaya Hardy, who had started 27 of Louisville's games this season, coming off the bench today, but has really played well. Now, where she struggles, the line. She's just 39% on the season. Largest lead of the game for Louisville. Quarles Daniels spins it in, plus the foul. And a chance for three for Brooke Quarles Daniels.
Great recognition by Quarles Daniels to see where the defense was and then to make the cut. You'll just see her flash through the screen, and then a shot blocker's there. What do? You go to the other side of the rim.
Let's check in with Hall.
Well, Brooke Quarles Daniels, a great story. She came into the office transferring from Oakland and said to Kim Barnes-Rico, I will do anything. I will be a dog on defense. I just want to get on the floor. I don't care if I ever play. I just want to be somebody that transforms this program. And Coach said she has been that. She said, I have a lot of really nice young women on my team. They're too nice. She's the one that brings the attitude, the frustration. She gets in people's face, and you're seeing that early in this game.
Yeah, helping force a turnover right there. Thank you very much, Hal. Kim Barnes-Rico said she felt like she just connected with her in that meeting when she said, I don't care if I play a minute. I'm going to bring grit to your program. She's a Michigan kid who loves the program and now is a huge part of them being in a third Sweet 16 as Olsen rims out. Siegler, the rebound for Louisville. Istanbuloglu. Cross court. Roberts, Berry, Istanbuloglu, Scott, and Siegler, the five for Louisville. Scott looking in. Istanbuloglu. Turning and laying with the left hand, able to sneak it around Sofakanik.
She's the one player since the beginning of this game who it's felt like she's playing exactly the pace she wants to play. She's not sped up in this moment. She's the one car for Jeff Walls going the appropriate speed limit.
Yeah, I like that analogy he had with Holly. Sofakanik trying to find an angle, forces it up and in, plus the foul. And Istanbuloglu picks up her first as Sofakanik will have a chance for three.
Just Nice footwork there. She goes up, gets tapped right on the elbow. That's looks like a lot of the fouls A'ja Wilson picks up because of the way her form is and her elbows out, and gets her to the free throw line.
Speaking of A'ja Wilson, you excited for that South Carolina-Oklahoma rematch later today?
Oh, yes.
We get to watch it as fans, as Quarles Daniels. There's a tie-up, and the possession arrow belongs to Michigan. There again is Brooke Quarles Daniels doing the little things for the Wolverines.
See, I'm curious there because she rolled over multiple times. What would constitute a travel in that situation?
Basically, if they are rolling away from the opponent, gaining an advantage. Does she roll multiple times? I mean, there she just sits up. I think you're all right there. Right there, she rolls over.
It's coming again.
Yeah. They're tying her up in the process. I don't think you can come up with it. I mean, they're tying it up. The jump ball happens before the ensuing travel would have happened.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Steve. It's so wonderful to have Dee Kanter with us all season. After 36 seasons as an NCAA official, 5 in the NBA, 26 Final Fours, and now part of our crew. Roberts comes up with a steal. Taj Roberts dancing to the cup. Both teams having trouble protecting the basketball in this first half, and nearly another turnover there. So Fakanik swivels around, banks it in, but a charge as Istanbuloglu is fired up, taking the body, and Sofakanik picks up her first.
Just players in scramble mode defensively for Louisville, and Istanbuloglu looks like she's there and certainly fired up. She has really been on point on both ends of the floor so far this game.
How impressive has Istanbuloglu been in this tournament overall?
Incredibly, incredibly. You can see why Jeff Walz calls her his most important player right now.
No doubt. And we saw that down the stretch of that tight win against Alabama in the second round. Lob it in, Istanbuloglu. Bodying, turning. How about 2 more for the Turkish big? She has not missed yet in the Sweet 16. Holloway, no. Rebound, Sofakanik with a big-time putback for Michigan.
Sofakanik just keeps working on the offensive end of the floor, and that is a hustle play.
Siegler gets it across, Berry stays in. Here's Scott. 25-16, Louisville lead over Michigan. 6:15 to go in the second quarter. Olsen comes up with a steal. Olivia Olsen will lay it in after Louisville turns it over for a 9th time. Jeff Walz talking about those turnovers to Holly at the end of the first quarter. And a whistle as Olsen got tied up. That's going to be on Olsen, and it will be her second.
Istanbuloglu, we've seen her have success facing the basket this time. Beautiful lefty hook finishing inside. And then the steal by Olsen. This is where Michigan thrives. If they can turn you over, live ball, and then get in. Louisville likes to run this back diagonal screen, and that time gets run right over Raina Scott.
And Olsen, who was in foul trouble against NC State in the first half and had 27 in the second half, has 2 fouls here. Roberts can't hit, Swords the rebound. Here is Olsen, pedaling it forward, flipped it wildly, Istanbuloglu the rebound. Olsen is 3 for 10, and Swords is 1 for 6. Knocked out of bounds, stays here off the deflection as Michigan will send in a couple of subs. Tayala Delfas and Kendall Dudley into the game for Michigan. Yesterday, Kim Barnes-Arico was telling us about Delphos that of all her talented young players, and Delphos a sophomore as well, she has the chance to end up being the best pro of any of them. Said she's just a baby deer out there right now, but so much raw ability, athleticism, versatility, and she can change a game off the bench.
Yeah, 6'3", athletic. She has range out to 3, can drive to the basket as well.
Dee, do we know what's going on here?
I wish I did. I really don't. I have to be honest with you. I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, I think Randolph
we've
has
got blood.
Blood. A little infection control situation. Thanks to our statistician, Stevie LeBeau. Seeing Randolph getting tended to. Oh, yeah, nose is bleeding for McKinley Randolph. Having the jersey wiped, and they had to wipe up the floor as well. So Randolph on the bench for the moment. Here's Istanbuloglu. Kicking it out. Berry. 7 to shoot. Istanbuloglu. 5 to shoot. Fading away. Not that time. Holloway the rebound for Michigan. Holloway the pull-up. Rims off. Berry the rebound in traffic. Istanbuloglu back iron it off. Holloway the get ahead. Delphos flags it down and lays it in.
And we've seen that fast pace now that Michigan wants to play with, whether it's off live ball turnovers or off of the defensive board. Get ahead.
Jeff Wall's going to take a timeout. We'll step aside. Rebecca, you, Holly, and I usually, after we do our meetings, the first day of the site, we're at the Sweet 16. We usually go back. But yesterday, because we want to listen to the broadcast, want to prep, yesterday we stayed because we wanted to see Vandy Notre Dame in person. And what Hannah Hidalgo did was absolutely breathtaking. Just the second 30-point triple-double in tournament history. The other, Caitlin Clark's in the Elite Eight against Louisville in 2023.
How many times while we were sitting there courtside during the first half did one of us say to the other one, she got another one, meaning Hannah Hidalgo in her steals? It was just ridiculous. She's one of those players when I'm not calling games, I just watch her on the floor because she's always a danger defensively, and she just impacts things so incredibly on both ends.
And it'll be so fun to have that UConn Notre Dame rivalry renewed tomorrow with huge stakes on the line. A trip to the Final Four at 1 Eastern on ABC tomorrow. Here's Scott. Bouncing to Berry. 7 to shoot. Berry, no. Rebound, Delphos. And Michigan making some inroads here on a 6-0 run. 50% from the floor in the second quarter after they were under 30% in the first, thanks to missing their first 6 shots. Delphos connects on a 3, and it's a 2-point game.
And that's what she brings. At her size, the ability to step out and hit the deep one.
Louisville is led by as many as 11. It's in danger now. Quarles Daniels off the steal. Accelerates, looking for help. Finding Holloway. Holloway wheeling. Dishing. 7 to shoot. Swords. Trying to find an angle, cuts in and ties it. 25 all. The 11-point hole has been vanquished. Here's Siegler, an 11-0 Michigan run. Scott across her body. Make it Berry, and Berry gets fouled. Amari Berry is going to shoot 2.
Tayala DeFoss here is going to get the opportunity, just comes up to the top of the lane, and some depth on that three, and Silas Swords has done a nice job, I think, all game long, attacking when she sees and finds a seam and finishes on that one.
Now that foul on Holloway, her second. Olsen on the bench right now with 2. As Berry misses the free throw. 84% on the season. You see Olsen just a spectator right now for Michigan, but they've been able to go on this run with her on the bench as Berry misses both. Charles Daniels directing traffic. Berry after it, coming up with a knockaway, and the possession arrow belongs to Louisville. Great effort there from Amari Berry.
I think that was her frustrated with missing the free throws and then coming down and channeling that energy into her defense.
Hey, it's nice when the frustration results in forcing a turnover rather than just applying a foul.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't sound as nicely, though, as like frustration foul.
That's true. We need to come up with alliteration. A tormented turnover.
There you go.
No points for Louisville the last 4.5 minutes. Roberts attacks. Runner isn't good. Rebound Delphos. Michigan keeping Louisville off the board for about 5 minutes now. Delphos cradles it up and in, plus the foul.
Delphos does a great job as she uses the screen. The defense switches, and it's Istanbuloglu who ends up on her. So she recognizes she has the quickness advantage there, comes in, finishes with contact. What a difference she's been in these last couple of minutes.
We talked about it. Kim Barnes-Arico said she can change games for us off the bench. That is what Teala Delphos has done. Michigan's first lead of the day. And Delphos completes the three-point play. It is a 14-0 Michigan run.
And especially with Olsen on the bench with those fouls, Michigan needs another player who's going to be aggressive.
Siegler able to pass out of the double. Scott, the senior, surveying. Istanbuloglu wants a touch, finally gets it. 3 to shoot, and a double dribble as Louisville turns it over for an 11th time. One of the best players in the nation, the 3-time All-American, Madison Booker, arriving. Coming up next, it's Texas against Kentucky in an SEC matchup in this Sweet 16. Holloway over to Swords. Dudley bangs in. They'll call a block on the floor before the shot. And the foul is against Roberts, her second.
Nice cut by Dudley as she recognized what the defense was doing.
Dee, I want to ask you about 2 aspects of that. 1, the fact that it was called on Roberts, and 2, no continuation. What do you think?
Definitely no continuation. She makes contact with her before she starts her upward shooting motion. The block, I believe, too, because she was not really legally positioned when she received that pass.
All right, thank you, Dee. Second foul there on Taj Roberts as Dudley slides in for 2. It's a 16-0 Michigan run that finally ends there as Istanbuloglu lays it in. Delphos on the attack, and that is going to be a charge. Second time Istanbuloglu has stood in and taken it.
But right decision by Delphos because she's had success being aggressive to the basket, yeah, without question. Elif Istanbuloglu right there.
I mean, officials get enough grief, as Dee well knows. Dee, it feels like this has been a very well officiated first half thus far, no?
It has been. I hope you have not jinxed my friends out there, Ryan, but yes, they've been doing a great job.
Feels like every replay has just confirmed what was called on the floor. Here's Roberts. Into Siegler, the turn, the take, the miss. And Delphos, the weak side rebound, as Michigan can essentially hold for one. And you could see members of the bench standing up to indicate that. And now a foul against Berry. That is going to be her first. But the bonus for Michigan, so free throws here. How about Michigan's ability to not only stay afloat, but to thrive with Olsen on the bench with 2 fouls?
They settled in and started playing their game. You know, they were able to force turnovers from Louisville. They started to attack the basket and finish better once they did. But yeah, incredibly admirable considering Olsen hasn't been on the floor.
Michigan has also managed to hit their free throws, limited attempts, but they're 5 of 6, and Louisville is 1 of 5. Holding for a final shot here. Michigan on an 18-2 run after falling behind by 11. Berry makes her move, fading, missed it. Rebound, Istanbulou, who forces it up. That'll do it for the first half. Michigan finishes the second quarter on an 18-2 run after falling behind by 11. They take a 5-point lead into the half, trying to advance to the Elite Eight for just the second time in program history. Delphos changed this game. She's with Holly.
Well, your team is on an 18-2 run right now, but 8 of those points came from you all in the second quarter. How did you get in and find your personal rhythm so quickly?
My teammates found me the ball, and we just kind of just got it running from there. We got some transition buckets from getting stopped, so yeah.
I know that your team, this is a big moment, new moment for a lot of you, and Coach was saying that you were a little flustered early. How did the team settle down and start performing?
We knew we had to take it out and be calm, try to run something, because they kept getting us to turn over the ball. So we know we have to slow it down and run our plays right.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Holly, thank you very much. Tayala Delphos helping change the game, helping lead an 18-2 Michigan run. Getting ready to start the second half in Fort Worth. Michigan, the 2 seed, with a 5-point lead over the 3 seed Louisville, with a trip to the Elite Eight on the line. We know UCLA and Duke will meet in the Elite Eight tomorrow. Later on today on ABC, it's Texas and Kentucky as we welcome you courtside. Once again, Ryan Ruocco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. Louisville had control, and then what a second quarter from Michigan. Time now for our court coverage brought to you by Geico.
Michigan certainly playing to their identity, especially in that second quarter where they just forced Louisville into turnovers. It happened against the full court pressure. You see the double team coming, active hands, making it difficult to make passes out of it. It happened in their quarter court defense as well. Olsen jumping the route, able to get an easy 2 in transition. And then how about Delphos here? Another turnover, and then pushing it the other way to get some easy looks when things were challenging in terms of scoring in the first quarter. Tayala Delphos just brought something to Michigan when she came in off the bench. She was in attack mode. She made shots from deep. She was energetic in their pressure. She took it and attacked the rim. So impressive. As you see the Power Puffs celebration from her teammates.
And now for Need to Know, brought to you by Intuit QuickBooks. The last 6:40 of the first half, Michigan outscored Louisville 18-2. As you see, Louisville shot just 1 of 9 from the floor over that stretch as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, you see the celebration when she scores. They twist their hands. They're talking about her hair. Those are her Power Puffs, and you guys may be too old to remember the Power Puff Girls, but it is a Power Puff Girls activate motion. She's definitely come in off the bench activated.
Too old to remember.
Come on,
Holly.
I remember the Powerpuff Girls. Your Swords struggled shooting it in the first half. Gets it out to Olsen, who played with 2 fouls forbidden, then sat the last few minutes of that second quarter. Swords, and she stepped out of bounds. It'll be Louisville basketball.
Louisville came out what looked like a 2-3 zone look that we didn't see in the first half, and then switched it up to a man-to-man at the end, but causing a turnover in the first possession.
And Kim Barnes-Arico was expecting some junk from Jeff Walls, knowing that he'll throw his own in there. A triangle and two as Istanbuloglu lays it in, plus the foul and a chance for three.
First play of the game, Jeff Walls went to Istanbuloglu for a three. Here, the first play of the second half, just a quick cut to the bucket, looking to get the direct entry post play. She has the size advantage, now an opportunity for an and one.
Didn't look like there was a lot there either, and it's a critical call because it's number 3 on Holloway as Randolph nearly comes up with that loose ball. Quarles Daniels, no, gets it back, another chance. Olsen out to Swords. Michigan 1 of 4 from 3, Louisville 2 of 9. That one way off from Olsen. So Fakanik spinning, forcing, can't hit, and Siegler comes down with it for Louisville. Here's Roberts. Off the hedge, and a turnover, and then a foul on Roberts. And that will be her third. That's the frustration foul you're talking about earlier, Rebecca, when you turn it over.
It just compounds the problem. And you see the way Michigan blitzes the on-ball screen, and Istanbuloglu is slipping it. Roberts has to get her the basketball before she is fully trapped.
Olsen into the corner, Swords. Ooh, who's that going to be on? Okay, they're going to say it's on Sofakanik after a little conference, and that'll be her second.
She gets it with the elbow, with the extended elbow. Without question, that's the right call.
And are they going to take a look at maybe this should be upgraded?
The ruling on the floor is a personal foul on Michigan number 15. The officials have decided to review this play on their own for a possible upgrade to a flagrant 1.
All right, we'll step aside, come back.
This will become the floater timeout for the second half.
A 2-point game, early third quarter, Sweet 16 action, Michigan and Louisville. A minute and a half into the third quarter, and we're going to get an announcement on what they were reviewing right here.
After review, the ruling on the floor is confirmed of a personal foul on Michigan number 15.
So nothing upgraded there, D.
That is correct. It's a basketball play. I agree with the assessment the officials made. I just believe it's a basketball play, nothing unnecessary. So, absolutely.
That's how you post up. That's what your arm does when you go to make that big kind of U shape with both of your arms. That's a natural motion.
Spoken from the big.
There you go.
I like it.
Confirmed by the little.
Ouch.
Here's Scott. Over to Istanbuloglu. Siegler looking in. Holloway and Roberts both playing with 3 fouls. Good cut from Scott, and lays it in on the delivery.
Good cut from Scott. Great ball fake by Siegler. That made the defense bite one more step, and then Scott was even more open.
And one of the things Siegler's talked about this year is the way she has learned to impact the game beyond scoring, the development. After her career started with St. Joe's, had a terrific experience there, continuing it here with Louisville as Roberts lays it in, and Louisville jumps back in front.
Louisville starting the possessions in the zone defense, I think, has slowed down Michigan, made them think a little bit more.
They've started the third quarter 7-0, just like they did the first quarter. Holloway, who had 6 assists, no turnovers in that first half. What a pass! And Swords buries the 3 off an electric delivery from Elis Holloway.
Terrific pass, and you see how quickly Swords gets her feet set.
You have a comp for that.
I do.
Want to share it with the class?
It's Sammy Whitcomb from the WNBA.
That same quick trigger, feet set.
Feet set, quick trigger.
Here's Siegler, doubled. 3 to shoot. Siegler, 2 to shoot, methodically plotting her way down, couldn't finish. Michigan pushing it the other way. Swords. That was her first 3 of the day. Olsen gives it back to Swords with some space. Gonna drive it this time. Swords forces it up and in with the left hand through Siegler. A little banged up, slow to get up for Louisville. Swords first team all Big Ten this season as a sophomore. Michigan back in front by 3. Scott. Istanbuloglu gets fouled. Sofakanik, that is her 3rd.
Silas Swords coming alive from the 3-point line, and you see the beautiful pass across court. Istanbuloglu can't get there. Watch how quickly her feet get set, even in the slow motion replay. Pitter patter, then gets the shot off with her release as well.
Well, Rebecca, there's a reason her release is fast. She was playing in the Paris Olympics for Team Canada, and Gabby Williams of Team France is closing out on her so fast. She's like, when you see Gabby Williams coming at you, you learn to get the shot off quicker. She was the youngest player in Canadian history to ever be on their senior national team. That experience is showing up big time for her today on a big stage.
Terrific stuff, Al. Yeah, she was joking, saying when she first started on the national team as the youngest player, she said, I'm hearing people talk about mortgages and houses and taxes, and I'm just sitting there quietly listening as a teenager. Responsibilities that had not yet befallen her. Here's Berry. Randolph on the drive, flips it up and in. McKinley Randolph puts Louisville back in front. Here's Quarles Daniels after the quick get-ahead from Holloway. Holloway has 7 assists in this game. Good look, Olsen. Dudley couldn't finish the lay. Quarles Daniels gets blocked but fouled by Berry. That'll be the 2nd on Berry. Timeout on the floor. 1-point game. The NCAA Women's Championship presented by Capital One on ABC is brought to you by Intuit QuickBooks. Outdo it with Intuit QuickBooks. Quarles Daniels misses the first free throw. It is amazing. You know, Quarles Daniels going to the line. We heard Holly tell the story earlier about how, you know, Kim Barnes-Arico says she is the dog we need on our team amongst a bunch of very nice young women. She's got that grit, that grind. She's one of their leading rebounders at 5'7". She is their leading offensive rebounder at 5'7".
She averages 3 offensive rebounds a game. She averages more offensive boards than defensive boards. It's incredible at her stature.
Here's Berry. Already into the game for Louisville. Gave them good minutes in the first half. Scott across her body, doesn't get the roll. Delphos, who changed the game for Michigan, back in. Holloway running and laying. And Michigan back in front by 2.
Amari Berry, even though with only 2 fouls, she backed away and did not give an opportunity to get a 3rd picked up.
Roberts on the bench with 3 right now. Holloway has been navigating with 3. Scott, the pull-up won't go. Rebound, Swords. Ooh, and Hardy grabs at her back. Almost looked like it locked up. 5-on-4 the other way. Olsen, Euros, tosses in, plus the foul. And a chance for 3 for Olivia Olsen.
We've seen throughout the course of this game when Michigan has success, it's when they are able to play fast, when they're able to get out in transition or even secondary here, attacking the basket. I didn't see any contact at all, but a great job by Olsen to get in the paint and finish.
And they call number 3 on Berry. Holly?
Well, guys, Olivia Olsen works with her mother, Rachel, who has become a mental performance specialist to help her children in sports. And they really work on a ton of visualization, and before every game she sets affirmations for the game. I asked her mom what might they be for this game. She said, well, really she's focusing on what are my strengths? What will I do in this game? How can I add? What am I strong at? So instead of focusing on what she's not, she is focusing on what she can be in this game and performing at a high level.
Really cool inside Hall. Here's Berry, back iron and off, rebound, Quarles Daniels. And Siegler gets called for the foul. That is going to be number 2 on Siegler. And the 4th team foul on Louisville in this third.
Just trying to poke from behind here. Feet get caught up.
Looked like Siegler lost her footing down low and then
tripped.
Yep. Lots of foul trouble to be aware of in this game. Roberts and Berry both with 3. Holloway, Sofakanik both with 3.
Both teams only gone 7 deep in this one.
Swords will fire, no. Quarles Daniels again with the offensive rebound and the putback. Michigan's lead is 7, their largest of the game. An 8-0 Michigan run.
We've seen Louisville get some good looks off of good sets. Jeff Walz told us we are going to get good looks, we just need to make them.
Siegler. Here's Berry. Berry the pull-up. That one won't go either. Delphos the rebound. Olsen. Dudley. Twisting inside and banking it in. Beautiful footwork and finish with the left hand. A 10-0 Michigan run and a 9-point lead. Berry can't end it. Olsen the rebound. Louisville struggling to score. Swords, you bet! It's a 13-0 Michigan run.
Michigan certainly has found their footing, getting stops on the defensive end, and then Silas Swords with a good look, fired up, ponytail bouncing, teammates on the bench bouncing as well. They can feel the momentum here in the third.
This is a Michigan team with its highest seed in program history as a 2. They would match the most wins in a season in program history if they were to win today, and their sophomores have scored or assisted on 78% of their points in this tournament. Hey, coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship continues on TBS. For tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. Michigan had a 16-0 run in the second, now a 13-0 run in the third. And Louisville turns it over. Jeff Walz quickly puts his head in his hand. Sends Raina Scott back in. Quarles Daniels. Lost it, out of bounds. Last hit her, it'll be Louisville ball. How does Louisville settle down here, Rebecca?
They've got to get a little bit more ball movement on the offensive end. There's been some quick shots. They do need to settle in, run their stuff. They're getting good looks when they've taken their time and then hit them, because their defense is so much better when they score and can get back and set in their defense.
Jeff Walz frustrated with Amari Berry coaching her up. Scott now bounces it out of bounds. This is a Louisville team that has turned it over 14 times now today. Their season average is 13 per game, but Michigan will turn you over. They are 13th in the nation, the Wolverines, at forcing turnovers.
Yeah, when they're in their full court and send the trap, especially when they're sending longer players, it's just hard to make a clean pass out of it.
In the corner, Olsen connects! It's all blue right now in the third for Michigan. How about A 16-0 run in the second, and now a 16-0 run in the third.
We saw Swords hit a 3 on the right side. This time it's Olsen draining a 3 on the left. Certainly the groove Michigan had been in the second quarter, now here late in the third as well.
And that's going to be an offensive foul as Randolph gets called for it. These are both young teams, inexperienced teams for this round, this moment. And you wonder how Louisville right now in this hole certainly could feel their season slipping away, will adjust to this adversity.
Well, that's what it can come with young players, right? When things are going well, it can propel you forward. We've seen that a little bit with Michigan here in the third quarter, but certainly when things aren't going well, how do you turn that tide?
Quarles-Daniels gives it up, knocked away by Scott.
Louisville extending their pressure that time defensively.
Quarles-Daniels, 7 rebounds in this game. Olsen with 3 to shoot. Dudley, the runner is good. It is all going down right now for Michigan. An 18-2 run to end the first half. An 18-0 run right now that Scott finally ends. And Michigan can hold for a final shot here. Olsen the reverse. A 20-2 run to end the third quarter for Michigan. Trying to punch their ticket to their program's second ever Elite Eight. We'll chat with their head coach, Kim Barnes-Arico. When we come back, stay tuned after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Well, Coach, early in this game, you were telling your team in the huddle, settle down, settle down. What have you said to them? Because now they have.
We're in spaces that we've never been in before, so we're learning as we go. They just have to keep their confidence. They just have to keep their belief. They have to find their way, and they're starting to find their way. A lot of game left to be played. They're a great team, so got to keep our foot on the gas.
2 separate 16-0 runs now in this game. What have you found to get that rhythm?
Our pace. Our pace is exceptional, and our defense is causing our offense. We're forcing them into turnovers, so we're speeding them out, and that's allowing us to get in rhythm and to comfort.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Rhythm and comfort. We certainly saw that from the sophomores in the third quarter. Silas Swords, over here, I'm open. Look at how quickly she gets her feet set, the quick release as well. Then in transition, I'm open again. And how about Olivia Olsen just creating her offense? She slithers through 3 to score and then steps into the 3 as well. These women have been so impressive here today.
Michigan also 5 offensive rebounds in that third quarter. Louisville did not have a single one. Quarles-Daniels all over the glass for the Wolverines. Does Louisville have a punch left in them in this fourth? Right away, they draw a foul, and if that's Holloway, and it is, it's going to be number 4 on the Michigan point guard.
Louisville has been outstanding to start every quarter in terms of their ability to execute different actions on the offensive end. They scored to start the game, second quarter, third quarter, and then here the opportunity to do so, getting to the free throw line. Jeff Walls draws up great stuff, and his team has executed it.
Now for our star stories, brought to you by United Airlines. Olivia Olsen, Silas Swords. Both struggled early and have stuck with it. Played really well in this second half. 2 of the terrific sophomores for Michigan. Those 2 outscored Louisville 16-13 in the third. Offensive board here for Louisville. Scott, the little pull-up, won't go. Rebound, a battle for it, and Michigan comes away with it. Olsen running with Swords. Olsen off the high dribble, left it short. Puts it in on the follow.
One of the things Michigan has done really well on the defensive end is limited Louisville's ability to get any high-low looks, which they're good at.
Great delivery from Berry. Randolph just didn't finish the lay. Michigan shooting 51% as a team. Louisville just 39. Louisville 2 of 10 from 3. Scott back to Berry. Berry will fire. No.
We've seen this game, Louisville being deliberate offensively, getting into their actions, but when you're down 18 with 8 to go, you're going to need to look for shots earlier in your sets.
Michigan ended the second quarter on an 18-2 run, the third on a 20-2. Glad you got some water there, partner.
Me too.
Thought we almost lost you. Whistle here for the 6th straight year. Every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com. So Sweet 16 and Elite 8 through Monday, and then Friday the Final 4 semis, and then Sunday on ABC. It'll be the national championship game. Such a fun time of year. Istanbuloglu hasn't gotten a lot of touches in the second half. Nearly turns it over there and does. Delphos having her own struggles. Possession arrow belongs with Michigan, so they'll retain possession.
Istanbuloglu finally got a touch on the block, but Michigan right there to trap her and make it difficult for her to pass out of it. Turnover resulted.
Olsen bounces Quarles Davis. Quarles Davis, no. Roberts battling, and she was out of bounds. Quarles Daniels again making it happen on the offensive glass. It's just been unbelievable watching her work on the interior, continuing to keep possessions alive.
By far the smallest player on the floor.
Here's Olsen. Olsen across her body, gets it to drop in again. That's the versatility that Kim Barnes-Arico's talking about with Olsen. Scores in so many different ways. Roberts can't hit the 3. Louisville now 2 for 12 from downtown.
Overall good looks. Overall good looks that Louisville just hasn't been able to hit.
Michigan a 20-point lead. Delphos, no. Randolph separates and gets denied. Delphos palmed that rejection. Eight points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks off the bench for Delphos. Michigan firmly in control. Delphos, what a finish with the left hand.
Her impact on this game has been absolutely incredible, both defensively and offensively.
Istanbuloglu lays it in. Can Louisville still make a push here? Michigan a 20-point lead, under 6.5 minutes to go in this fourth. This is a group that Jeff Walz has really loved coaching this year for Louisville. Swords off the catch, mid-range, indeed. Swords the only player to play every minute thus far today in this game. A reminder that Texas and Kentucky coming up next here on ABC. That'll be the second of 4 Sweet 16 games today on our family of networks. Berry can't buy a bucket. 3 for 12 now from the floor. Berry and Roberts have both really struggled today for Louisville. You know, Quarles Daniels has done a great job running the point while Holloway has dealt with foul trouble. Got clock down to 3. Dudley the reverse, no. Guess who? Quarles Daniels again, and she gets fouled. I'm guessing Jeff Walls is not thrilled with the effort on the glass right now from Louisville. Many times you have Louisville players standing around watching underneath the rim, and Quarles Daniels is going to take advantage of that.
And what's difficult with the way you're defending Quarles Daniels is that when they're leaving her to go help defensively other things, then there's not the body around her necessarily to block her out. And she has taken advantage of that. We've seen her expertly get the team into their sets and then get the extra possessions by getting to the offensive glass.
7 offensive rebounds today for 5'7" Brooke Quarles Daniels. Now looking at this matchup, Rebecca, we had wondered how much Michigan would be able to keep her on the floor because of how Louisville was going to be able to play off of her, and she has been essential.
And instead, you can't take her off the floor.
That's right. It's all Michigan midway through this fourth. Istanbuloglu gets denied. Olsen and Roberts dive on the floor for it. Possession arrow belongs to Louisville, but how about Michigan in this second half? They have completely dominated.
And it's included performances off the bench. Particular, Del Foss comes over, palms that completely with her left hand, denies left, and then finishes left as well. Michigan with a big lead, and the leading rebounder and offensive rebounder is the smallest player on the floor, Brooke Quarles Daniels. You see the way she just pursues the basketball. Misses it the first time, surrounded by big players, hits it the second round. You know what she is?
Sneaky, sneaky.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Take a look at the Michigan sophomores today. Big contributions across the board for Olivia Olsen, Silas Swords, Mila Holloway, and Del Foss, who has come off the bench, changed this game. Louisville looked like they were in total control in the first half. Del Foss came off the bench, helped lead an 18-2 run from Michigan to end the half. And then Michigan ended the third on a 20-2 run, and they are firmly in control now as Siegler lays that in. It's a night, make it a 21-point lead for Michigan. How about on the brink of having Michigan, Duke, and UConn all with their men's and women's programs in the Elite Eight this season?
Pretty incredible.
What a remarkable win for Duke last night against LSU. Swords, a tie-up, and the possession arrow will stay with Michigan. That's one of the things that's been really impressive today about Kim Barnes-Arico's team is we see Holloway come back in. They've dealt with some significant foul trouble. Olsen was on the bench for an extended stretch in the second quarter. Holloway in the first and second half, and they've handled it more than aptly both times.
Yep. Olsen, of course, in foul trouble for much of the first half in their second round game as well, so they were able to weather that storm.
Berry now 3 for 13. Michigan looking to get to the Elite Eight for just the second time in program history. And 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from it happening. Istanbuloglu lays it in. Now, one thing significant for Louisville to consider as their season is likely winding to a close here, they have re-signed all their key players to return for next season. They made that announcement a few days ago, and in today's landscape of college basketball, just so significant. So all these talented sophomores for Louisville, they're coming back next season for Jeff Walz and the Cardinals.
And one thing we've seen with Jeff Walz over the years is when he has a group that stays with him consistently, they improve and they have success.
That's how he's taken 4 teams to the Final Four in his almost 2 decades now with Louisville. It's just incredible what he has done with this program. You see the before and since. This is a 13th Sweet 16 for Louisville. They've gone to 8 Elite Eights, 4 Final Fours under Jeff Walz, and I know he is so excited to have this group back. Gives a big hug to Istanbuloglu as she checks out. Those two a special relationship, and he's so proud of her development and growth this season, and she's back for another year as well with Louisville.
And his players talking about him yesterday and glowingly saying he prepares us on the court and to be strong women off the court, and that of course is even more important.
That was something that Istanbuloglu and McKinley Randolph really emphasized. Part of the reason why they love Jeff Walz. Meanwhile, Louisville going on a little bit of a run here. 16-point game with 2:38 to go. A 7-0 burst from the Cardinals. This was a game that Louisville led midway through the 3rd quarter by 1, and then Michigan just completely took over.
Michigan, when they went on their runs, it was all when they were able to play their pace.
Yes.
Play a little bit faster, get out in transition, find good looks.
Holloway gets it ahead. Dudley trying to run more clock. Wow, what a save from Olsen. Swords, back ironing off. Delphos gets called for the foul. And that is going the other way. Louisville basketball with 2:24 to go. Scott quickly ahead to Roberts. Roberts unable to bank it in, tries to get it back, and a foul against Louisville will put Michigan at the line. You know what Jeff Walz was talking to us about his team, why he likes them so much. He said they just really compete and they have bought in all year to, I may not be the person to hit shots tonight. That's okay. Been a real unselfish nature about this Cardinals team, and that's part of the reason why he's so pumped up to have them all back next year. Meanwhile, on the Michigan side of things, they also are very confident that they will be returning their star sophomore class for next season as they continue to build on what is already a historically deep run for this program.
They're Super 6.
Yes. They account for more points per game than any sophomore class in Division I. Siegler can't hit. Off the putback. Scott will lay it in plus the foul. And Raina Scott, a chance for 3. A reminder coming up next on ABC, it'll be Kentucky taking on 1 seed Texas. Those two played a very competitive game when they met in the SEC regular season.
That was a game where Maddie Booker was held just because she didn't take a lot of field goal attempts to 8 points.
Yeah.
Before she started really hunting shots.
Siegler fires from 3 there, knocked out of bounds. And as we look at Siegler, who is playing in her final college game here, I thought at Jeff Walz' presser the other day, he did something great. He said, hey, he was talking about Laura Siegler, who was all ACC first team, her impact. And he said, let's be clear, she came to us really developed. St. Joe's did an incredible job with Siegler, and Cindy Griffin has run a wonderful program there for 25 seasons. And Siegler emphasized to us yesterday, she said, a lot of times people transfer because they're unhappy. That wasn't me. I loved my time at St. Joe's. In fact, when this is done, I'm going to go back, spend time with all my old people. She said, I was just looking for the next step, and this was the perfect place to continue to advance my basketball development. So a situation where she really had two fruitful collegiate experiences at two different universities.
She wanted to enhance her ability to make it at the next level. Do other things and be forced to do other things, just be a ball dominant player.
Nice delivery on the interior, good battle. You wonder if Kim Barnes-Arico is going to want to get some of her players out of the game here. You see a player like Olsen go down there. You don't want her coming up limp after something like that. Seems okay.
Michigan still in attack mode defensively, hard hedging on ball screens.
Last hit, Siegler out of bounds. You can't say enough about Kim Barnes-Arico and what she has done at Michigan now, her 14th season, winningest coach in program history, 12 20-win seasons. They will match the program record with a 28th win here today. And it will have happened in dominant fashion, as now Kim Barnes-Arico will send in the subs. And a worthy ovation from the Michigan fans for all of these huge contributors.
This talented young team, and Kim Barnes-Arico talked about it with Holly Rowe in the interview. Just it took them a minute to settle down. This is new for them. But once they did, wow, just being dominant defensively and finding shots offensively, not new.
Final minute here in this Sweet 16 matchup with Texas and Kentucky up next on ABC. And then it'll be South Carolina, Oklahoma on ESPN, and TCU against UVA in the nightcap. That three won't go. Mathurin unable to hit. This is also a Michigan team that's slightly less deep than normal. Macy Brown, a reserve who's a normal part of their rotation, got hurt in practice during the early rounds and is out now for Michigan. But her team continuing to thrive here today. Back iron and off, rebound Michigan. The Wolverines can dribble this out. And for just the second time in program history, Michigan is headed to the Elite Eight.
The sophomore class for Michigan, who has led the way for them all season long, found their footing, in particular in the second and then again in the third quarters, leading the charge, getting things done on the defensive end of the floor, coming down and making an impact aggressively, offensively as well. And Kim Barnes-Arico has to be so thrilled with how this young group came together and performed today.
In those baseball jerseys, the top of the first through the middle of the third didn't look great for Michigan, but the final 6 innings went well. As you take a look at our regional bracket, UCLA Duke, their Elite Eight matchup tomorrow on ABC, and who will join Michigan to meet Monday? Texas or Kentucky? They are up next. But standing by, Holly Rowe is a couple of sophomores, and the Michigan Wolverines with Holly.
Well, we've got the super softs. The whole team is here. More history. You guys came back for moments like this. How did you stick together in this game when it didn't start the way you wanted?
Yeah, it's just a testament to our chemistry. We love each other on and off the court, and I know a lot of teams say that, but, you know, we can't stop talking to each other in the back of the bus. We're genuinely excited for each other's success, and, you know, that's just a testament. So we can come back from anything, we can come up from anything, and it was just a really fun game to play.
You guys put it together. You went on big runs, 16-0 runs twice in this game. Where did that chemistry and that momentum come from?
It comes from anybody. That's why we're such a fun team to watch, is anybody can go off. Tay can come and score 10 points, almost have a double-double off the bench. Liv can come make big layups. Kendall make big shots. Like, everybody's coming in and you never know who's going to go off, and I think that's why we're so fun to watch. I mean, our fan base is growing, our attention is growing, and that's part of being Michigan basketball. We love it.
You are fun to watch. Powerpuff activated. Let's go.
Good stuff. As they try and find Tayala Delfas, who they do that Powerpuff celebration for. For our producer, Kerry Callahan, our director, Jimmy Platt. For the Hall of Famers, Holly Rowe, Rebecca Lobo, Dee Kander, I'm Ryan Rucco. We'll see you for Texas, Kentucky up next on ABC. For now, let's go to the studio. Christine, Drea, and Janae.
Well, Coach, the team talking about how they came together in this big moment. How did you see it in the moments that mattered most?
Yeah, I just think their confidence shone through. I think they also defended. We were able to get some stops, which allowed us to play out in transition and gain some confidence and gain some easy buckets. And once we did and we settled, great things were happening.
Here's what I love about this group. They cannot stand for this not to be all together all the time. What does this feel like in here?
Yeah, their chemistry is unbelievable. Their love for each other, the joy that they have for each other is unbelievable. I want to give them all a hug right now. But they're a special group, and I'm lucky to be their coach.
You guys get to advance, survive, and advance. How do you quickly turn your attention to your next matchup?
It's going to be tough. I lean into my assistant coaches who do a tremendous job and invest all those hours. We're excited to be playing. We're excited about another opportunity, and we've proven we're one of the best teams in the country, which is really special. Not done yet.
Yes, you are. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.